The Miami Dolphins, their starters might have been revealed this week when they released their first unofficial depth chart. I wanted to go through what the Dolphins have as their starting 11 on both sides, plus with some insight from the Dolphins coaching staff on Thursday when they spoke to media, we even have more of an idea who might be the first 11 on both sides of the football. But before we get into that, we'll be live on Sunday for Dolphins, Colts, NFL Week 1 action. We will be live 1 hour before the game, so noon Eastern time, 11 a.m. Central time. Going to be a lot of fun. Join me and Coop for the Sunday Week 1 live show. No really surprises in the backfield, if you will. Tua Tagovailoa is your starting quarterback. Achane is your starting running back. He said earlier this week that he is 100% healthy, dealing with that calf injury. Calf injuries can be scary because, hey, if you don't have that back to 100%, it really can lead to an Achilles. Don't want that with Achane, so good to know he's at 100%. And we know Alec Ingold is the starting fullback. But when you really think about these three, yeah, you can talk about Achane, but the season rides on this man. Last year, Tua played 11 games. Unacceptable. Your QB1 can't play 17 or 11 games. He missed some time at the end of the year with a hip injury. Obviously, the 4 games with the concussion. Just can't happen. So if he can play 17 games this year, I think the Dolphins are going to be a winning football team. He is the most vital part of this team, as is every quarterback with their team. Good quarterback play usually means good success in the NFL. So Tua, stay healthy. I believe you can lead this team to a lot of wins if you're on the football field. Pass catchers for Miami. Jaylen Waddle was listed as the wide receiver 1, which makes sense to me considering he is the future of this wide receiver room. Tyreek Hill, wide receiver 2. He is going to be ready to roll. But Darren Waller is still listed as tight end 1. Now, I don't know what have actually drove me nuts more. Darren Waller being tight end 1 or Julian Hill being tight end 1. Because I either have to choose between someone who never is on the football field or the worst tight end I've ever watched. I don't know which one is worse, folks. With Darren Waller specifically, I can't do it. I feel as if he is Will Fuller 2.0. I said it on the video that went out yesterday. The guy is not practicing. He hasn't done it. So how am I supposed to believe and have confidence in him that he's going to be able to go on the football field this Sunday and perform at a level that is required for the Dolphins to get a win and for him to be effective on the offensive side of the field? I just don't see it. I hope I'm proven wrong. I said it when they made the trade, that it was a very interesting trade. He was retired last year, didn't play football. I hope I'm wrong. I don't have a lot of faith in Darren Waller at tight end. Offensive line is really no surprise here. Patrick Paul at left tackle, Jonah Savaiinaea, that second-round pick from Arizona at left guard. Aaron Brewer returns for his second year in Miami at center, with James Daniels and Austin Jackson manning the right side of that offensive line. Now, I'm not really that concerned with it, but James Daniels did pop up on the injury report Thursday afternoon with an ankle injury. He was listed as a limited participant after being not on the injury report Wednesday. Not really looking into that too much as of now. Things could change, but feel very confident he's going to be on the field this upcoming Sunday for Miami. And if we're really talking about the O-line here, we can't afford to have any injuries to the starting line. That happens, we are in trouble. The depth on this O-line is not good whatsoever. You've got 4 backup offensive linemen right now because Liam Eichenberg is on the PUP list still and Andrew Meyer is on IR. You have 1 interior offensive lineman, Daniel Brunskill, who could play all 3 positions, left guard, center, right guard. But Keon Smith could play some guard as well. And then 2 swing tackles with Kendall Lamb and Larry Borum, which I believe Lamb would be the first man up over Borum due to how much he struggled in the preseason. Those guys can't be trusted. And usually, you sub in a backup offensive lineman, it's not going to go well. But specifically with Miami, it can get real ugly real quick. Can't have any injuries. Please, I'm begging football gods. I don't know what I got to do, but just allow these top 5 offensive linemen to all play at least 15 games. All of them play 15. I feel very good. All right, grade the Dolphins' offense. You just saw the starting lineup that's likely going to be out there to start the game on Sunday, assuming Darren Waller is active. If not, it's going to be Julian Hill. Scale 1 to 10 for me down in the comment section. Go to school. Let's go to the defensive line now. Chop Robinson, the second-year defensive end out of Penn State, listed as that top guy. Bradley Chubb as that DN number 2. And your 2 interior defensive linemen, Zach Sieler and Benito Jones. Obviously, to note, no rookie 13th overall pick Kenneth Grant. This is the strength of this football team. If you go across every single position that Miami has, the strength is the D-line. Yes, I love the depth at wide receiver. I love the 1-2 punch between Achane and Ollie Gordon. But if this team is going to have sustained success making the playoffs this year, it's because their front 7 and their pass rush and their run defense is top 5 in the NFL. This is the strength. And purposely looking at the interior defensive line, there is probably going to be a lineup change at one point throughout the season. It would not shock me, and it's only going to be Benito Jones. But he could get replaced by one of the rookies, whether it's Kenneth Grant, who was obviously taken the first round out of Michigan, or Jaelan Phillips, who has looked like an absolute young star in the making based on how he played in joint practices as well as all 3 preseason games out of Maryland. He has been awesome. His play strength, his ability to just move offensive linemen has been on display. Now, granted, it's going up against second-tier and third-tier offensive linemen in the preseason. We've yet to see it against the top O-linemen in football. But I do really think one of these 2 guys will end up being the starter next to Zach Sieler, I would say by October. First 4 weeks might be the veteran Benito. Once Grant and Phillips get a taste of real NFL football, I think they will be in the starting lineup once they get adjusted. Looking at the linebackers, it's hard for me to place Jaelan Phillips because on the depth chart, he's listed just as an outside linebacker. I don't know if that is where he's going to play. Like, he can play off the ball at times, and they will use him in coverage from time to time, but he's best on his 2 feet, standing up, rushing the football passer. And that's where I feel like it's going to be easier outside linebacker, but you got Jordyn Brooks as your captain. He's obviously a captain of this football team on the defense alongside Zach Sieler. He's your Mike. Tyrel Dodson is your strong side linebacker, but he could also play a little bit of Will if he needed to. The point is, we're so versatile. Brooks is your Mike, but Dodson could play Sam. He could play Will. Willie Gage Jr. could play Sam. He could play Will. KJ Britt can do it all pretty much. Like, I love this linebacker room. This is also one of the biggest strengths of this football team, the ability to move these guys around. Brooks, Willie Gay, Britt, Dodson, in run-stopping packages. KJ Britt's probably going to be thrown on the football field next to Jordyn Brooks due to both of their ability to get physical and get downhill. 3rd and 1, 3rd and goal, 2nd and goal, inside the 5. Like, those 2 linebackers should be out there because they can stop the run. I think this is a very fun front 7. Mentioned it just a second ago. The combination of our defensive line and linebackers. Woo! It's going to be absolute cinema, folks. The season officially gets underway on Sunday. Don't miss out. Get your jerseys. They might not get there in your house or apartment in time for week 1, but they could at least be here in time for week 2, whether it's Tua, whether it's Chop Robinson, whether it's Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Jaelan Phillips, Bradley Chubb. It does not matter. Any color, any player, any size. Chatsports.com/Dolphins jersey. Grab yours today. Also, not on sale yet, but coming up in a couple weeks, those new rivalry Dolphins jerseys will be on sale as well. All right, moving on to the secondary. They only listed 2 starting corners, 2 starting safeties. Storm Duck and Jack Jones are your 2 outside corners. This makes all the sense in the world to me. Those 2 have been the most experienced and best corners on the perimeter all training camp and preseason long. Juju Brents doesn't have the grasp of the offense or defense just yet. Mr. Douglas doesn't, and Ethan Bonner's banged up, so no surprise there. Jason Marshall Jr. likely going to work in at the nickel potentially. But with the safety room, Minkah Fitzpatrick obviously starter, Davis listed right now, but that number 2 safety spot can change. Anthony Weaver said on Thursday that both Davis and Melifonwu could see snaps opposite of Fitzpatrick. Also mentioned Elijah Campbell. The point is, these secondary players, specifically at safety, can be moved around. Minkah could be playing nickel with Duck and Jones on the outside, and then both Davis and Melifonwu back deep. Like, that's a possibility. You could see Fitzpatrick and Davis with Campbell in the nickel. Like, these safeties that you have are so interchangeable that you will never know who is in what assignment with this Dolphins defense. I think as the season goes on and on, when opposing offenses try to scout and watch film of the Dolphins defense, they won't even know what they're looking at half the time because we're so different with responsibilities and different looks and schemes. It's just going to be so confusing, I think, for especially young and not intelligent quarterbacks, which is why I think we'll be able to confuse the shit out of Daniel Jones this Sunday. That's just me. All right, let's move over to the special teams unit. Malik Washington is your starting punt returner and kick returner. Jake Bailey starting punter. Joe Cardona is your long snapper. Kicker is going to be Riley Patterson. Now, the reason why I have that starred, he is not on the 53-man roster. He is on the practice squad. You have the ability to elevate a player from the practice squad to your game day roster 3 times throughout the year. Patterson will be activated for week 1, week 2, and week 3, and then the Dolphins will have to make a decision for week 4 against the Jets on if they want to sign him to the 53-man roster or add a different kicker to the practice squad for that 4th game, and then Sanders is eligible to come off of IR for that week 5 game against Carolina. But Riley Patterson's going to be a kicker for your first 3 weeks, unless he's absolutely atrocious and Miami finds a new one for the next couple of weeks. Do also want to mention, Malik Washington is your starting punt returner. Could also see Tyreek Hill return some punts. He's listed as the backup punt returner on the depth chart, and Craig Aukerman also mentioned that he could play that position if Washington misses time or struggles, which I don't think it would happen with that part of it, missing time or struggling, that is. Either way, you could see Tyreek Hill back on the special teams unit returning punts. All right, I said it earlier. We'll be live on Sunday. Join me and Coop this Sunday for week 1, Dolphins, Colts. This is the thumbnail. You see it. Click on it. We're live. Going to be tons of fun. Hopefully, we're watching the Dolphins getting off to a 1-0 start.